Nice. Damn, this car can handle. Why don't NSXs get the deserved love? I wonder, how much they cost nowadays? Holy shit! Hello everyone, Jack of all interests here, and if you think that the JDM car prices are simply bonkers, well, you're not alone. But at least you can afford this. Before we jump into the review of the set, I would like to share with you why I bought the set altogether. So, I already have an Lego set, not an NSX, but a different set. And I thought that, hey, this specific set from Hot Wheels will be a great addition to this Lego set. What is the set in question? This one. So this is Ayrton Senna's McLaren MP4/4. This is the F1 car that Ayrton Senna drove in McLaren. So if you're not into F1, so quick history lesson for you. So Ayrton Senna is one of the greatest, if not the greatest, racing drivers ever. Of course, that's always debatable. If you want to debate, hey, write down in the comments. But nevertheless, he was an amazing driver. Unfortunately, he passed away in a crash, but he was really one of the fastest and he was always racing to win. And he was racing for McLaren back in the day, and the engine supplier for McLaren was Honda. Yes, Honda. So back in the day, McLaren wasn't a car manufacturer, it was a racing team, and only quite recently, basically in the 90s, well, McLaren became a car manufacturer with the McLaren F1, and actually Lego has released the F1 McLaren in Speed Champions. If you don't have it, get it, it's quite a good one. And only now McLaren is a well-known car manufacturer that has way too many models in my opinion. So, but back in the day, they weren't, and Honda was supplying the engines. And as a collaboration, Senna helped to tweak the settings and develop also the Honda NSX. And that's why I thought, okay, this is a really great combo to have this specific F1 model of Ayrton Senna back in the McLaren days, and also the Honda NSX that was also co-developed with Ayrton Senna. That's why I bought it. And yes, I've already assembled it. If you want to watch the full video with the time-lapse of assembling this specific set, here I will put a link to the video with the assembly. And also you can, well, along the way, listen to some funk music while watching the assembly in order to see how it went. But for this video, let's speed it up. If we go down deeper into the history of the NSX, so back in the day, Honda decided to develop a mid-engine sports car that would actually compete with Ferrari. Imagine that, Ferrari. And it is actually called the poor man's Ferrari. And well, yes, it was much more affordable than a Ferrari, and it actually competed with the Ferraris back in the day and actually could do better on the racetrack if well compared, which is kind of cool. But let's go through the stats in order to understand, well, why it is a poor man's Ferrari. For that, I will move over so that you can see also my amazing editing skills. So the starting price of an NSX back in the day in 1992 was between $65,000 to $69,000. Nowadays, however, it fetches around, well, $60,000 for a nugget, I guess. And well, if you find a good one in a pristine condition and with low mileage, well, it can actually fetch up to $160,000. Whoa, yeah. So our JDM heroes are further and further away with each consecutive years, unfortunately. Yeah, but still, it is much more affordable than a Skyline R34 GTR that simply fetch up to $500,000 nowadays. So yeah, I think NSX is actually a bargain. But don't Google how much an NSX-R costs. Just don't. Okay, let's go over the stats once again. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked all of the time. So, an Honda NSX from 1992 featured a V6 engine mounted in the middle of the car for weight distribution, and it boasted a well, amazing power of 270 horsepower. Yeah, not quite a lot if you compare, of course, with, for instance, Ferraris, especially not a lot, but it was enough in order to kick some Ferrari butt. But it was enough because the car itself had an aluminum monocoque. And yeah, don't laugh at the word monocoque, please. So yeah, it was lightweight, it was very agile. Ayrton Senna helped to develop also this steering, the suspension, and tweak the settings, and hence NSX is a really great sports car. That was a very long intro, so sorry for that. So let's jump into the review of the Hot Wheels set. The Hot Wheels Honda NSX is a main competitor to the Lego Technic sets of the same size, at least in my opinion, because the price range where two of them are, so both these Elite Series Hot Wheels models and also the Technic sets of the same size, they are quite similar. So it's in between 60 to 80 euros. So here are the things that I truly like about this specific set. And of course, there are some things that I dislike about this specific set. Let's get through them, and you can decide whether you want it or you want to skip this specific set. So first thing that I truly like is the fact that you can actually build either an Acura NSX, for instance, if you're living in the US, or the Honda NSX, and the build will be different. And Hot Wheels actually supplies different parts for the Acura and Honda, and all of them are printed. For instance, here you can see that it features the Honda badge, and also here it features Japanese license plate. So kind of cool. And also you can see that the steering wheel is actually on the right side of the car for the Honda. And if you want to build the Acura, it will be on the left side of the car. So there are actually two different builds for the same set. And if you want, you can at first build, for instance, the Acura, and then you can build the Honda, though the difference will be simply this steering wheel position and the badge and, the license plate. Well, why not? So basically it's 2 cents in one, which is a kind of cool thing. Moving on to the second thing that I like the proportions. Just look at it. It looks fantastic. It's not too big, it's not too small, and the proportions are simply right. I would say they are perfect. And when it comes to comparison to the Lego sets or the Technic sets, so it is kind of similar in terms of the proportions of the set. So let me show you. And as we were talking about, McLaren and Ayrton Senna, here is a Technic set of the McLaren Senna. Hey, yes, I have it. So as you can see, the proportions and the sizes are almost the same. So the Technic sets are a little bit bigger. Of course, with the Technic pieces, it's quite hard to get the right form of the set. So it might be a bit longer. So, the sizes might be a little bit off, but I think they are almost the same. And another thing that I truly like about Hot Wheels and Brick Shop, sets overall, is their take on the possibility to actually modify your sets. So they always give you two basically options of the same set. It could be either, for instance, rims or, for instance, decals. In this case, you can actually build a pace car that I think was actually featured in races back in the day. But what I chose to tune in my NSX were the rims. So I like it to be clean without any kind of stickers and decals, and actually it's a real pain in the butt when it comes to Lego sets, because almost everything needs stickers, and well, printed pieces are kind of rare in Lego sets. So here I made it clean. The necessary things that should be there, like the logos of Honda and the turn signals, are printed. And that's another thing that I truly like about Hot Wheels sets. Yet another thing that I truly like about Hot Wheels, and I think this is simply wow, that the rims that you choose, for instance, if you choose the original, so the OEM rims, they are plastic. But if you choose the tuned ones, these are from Rays, they are made of metal. Yeah, so this is actually a metal rim. I guess it's aluminium, so it's really true to form, true to the materials that are used in real rims. So I think that's a very good and amazing touch. And then we move over to another thing that is simply stunning when it comes to Hot Wheels sets, and that's attention to detail. When it comes to detailing the set, it is simply stunning. So first of all, when I was building the engine, I was simply shocked how detailed it was. It truly looks like a V6 engine. It has the VTEC logo on the engine itself. And I think this is really a really great touch when it comes to these kind of sets. Yet again, if we just take a look in the interior, you can see the climate controls, you can see the radio, you can see the climate fence, there is a stick shift, there's of course the handbrake, and even it has door cards. So the full interior is in place. And if we compare to the, well, the Technic sets, you won't ever find really in this kind of size and shape, and for this price, so much details as in this specific, well, Elite Series set. It wouldn't be me, I guess, if I didn't really find some of the things that I really didn't like. So I think that Hot Wheels with the Brick Shop and Mattel, they're doing a really great job, but there are some things that I think that they need to upgrade, and in order to be more, even more competitive to Lego specifically. So the first thing is the plastic. So the plastic is different. So straight away, I want to say that it feels different, that's one. It looks different, that's two. And I googled basically why it is like so, and well, Mattel, the parent company of Hot Wheels, so Hot Wheels basically, they use 3 different plastics in their sets. And of course, they use also recycled plastic. Of course, it is good for the environment. However, the set looks cheaper. So the plastic itself compared to Lego looks cheaper. And by the way, Lego uses one and the same plastic for all of their sets. And then it is, well, not recycled plastic. And that's why I believe it actually looks more premium, better looking, and doesn't have this like cheap plastic feel, honestly. So it really feels cheap when it comes to the plastic. So the second thing that I don't like about specifically the plastic pieces, well, it is the fit and finish. Believe me that it is sometimes hard to assemble the Hot Wheels sets. Sometimes you have to really break your fingers in order to really put 2 small pieces together. And it's really a pain. Literally, It sometimes was painful to really put together two small pieces because the fit and finish isn't the best. And yet another thing that I didn't really like was the fact that, well, though Hot Wheels has wrapped both the windshield and also the back glass in paper so it doesn't get scratched, still was a little bit scratched around the edges. Now I know that Lego doesn't really do that at all and you simply get scratched pieces still, but if you're taking the step of really trying to protect some of the pieces, well, try to really deliver them unscratched. And the last but not least, okay, here I will be nitpicking as hell, the boot. So in my opinion, Hot Wheels could have managed to also fit a boot here. Yes, if you don't know, there's an actual boot in the real car behind the engine. And there is the necessary amount of space in order to fit a boot here as well. But of course, maybe I'm asking way too much, but there were a lot of pieces that were simply like filler pieces, and in my opinion, there could have been also a boot back here. So there you have it. This is my take on the newest Hot Wheels set that I've recently bought, the Honda NSX or Acura NSX if you are in the US. If you enjoyed the video, of course, make sure to like and subscribe for more videos. Please write down in the comments if you already got some sets from Hot Wheels Brick Shop and whether you like it or you don't, or you still will stick to Lego, or even if you plan to buy some of these Hot Wheels sets because there are more of them. In fact, I plan to buy another Hot Wheels set, so I'm not ditching Hot Wheels with the Brick Shop altogether because I didn't like something. I truly like what they're doing, and hopefully with each consecutive re-releases and releases of the sets they will do better. So there is one set that was recently announced from Hot Wheels that I actually want to buy. It won't be this kind of set, it won't be the Elite Series set, so I will buy a smaller set that is basically a competitor to Speed Champions. So of course, when it will be released, available in Latvia, I will buy it, make a review. So stay tuned for this upcoming videos. And of course, watch the other videos that I've already released. So thank you everyone for watching, and it's a bye for now. Peace.